Way back in 1981, I became obsessed with the Kit Williams Masquerade treasure hunt. Then, with my brother, I was scouring the island of Anglesey, where I was convinced Kit had hidden his wonderful golden amulet, Jack Hare. Of course we were way off, and quite disappointed when the artefact was unearthed at Amt Hill in Bedfordshire. Had I found it, I intended to re-hide it on the Isle of Wight, which is my own homeland, and create my own treasure book. Alas, it was not to be, but having already laid the groundwork, I did go ahead and produce Spirit of the Stones, for which I created my own treasures based on real diamonds. My book met with mild success, and its main treasure, the Great White Eye, was eventually claimed by Malcolm B. Since then we've become fine friends, and occasionally meet when he and his brother Colin visit my island. Now, you can imagine my shock when, on receiving a special DVD communication, I was confronted with what follows.
Hi John, something a bit unusual just occurred and I thought you might be interested. When Colin and I came over in June, I don't know if you remember, but we were chatting with you about the Kit Williams Masquerade book. At the time you mentioned Anglesey, which I suppose a lot of people had settled on for various reasons. When I got back home I spent some time going through Masquerade and thought that I could see a pattern emerging. After a lot of toing and froing, I finally managed to derive an unusual phrase from the text in the book. This phrase turned out to be, "There is another." There is another. Now I know that many people thought the Masquerade was just that, a series of layers upon layers, and then when Jack Hare was finally discovered at Amt Hill, that this couldn't really be the end somehow. I thought long and hard about this and suddenly wondered if this phrase meant that there were in fact two hares buried. In the past I'd come up with a couple of locations in Anglesey, but I'd abandoned them when the Amt Hill hare was found. The curiosity became a little too much for me, so I sat down one night and revisited the two locations that I'd worked out. Eventually I couldn't stand it anymore, so last Saturday I took a drive out to Anglesey. The first location was a blank, as usual, but as I approached the second location things seemed to just fall into place of their own accord. Things I expected to find suddenly appeared in the landscape, and eventually I'd arrived at the spot I'd worked out. It took some little effort, but I finally found what I was looking for. There was indeed another. Jack has already been found. Now I'd like you to meet Jill. Hope you can see this, John. Now that's what I'd call something a little bit different.